The transmedia franchise I will be examining is the Year Zero project by the band Nine Inch Nails and helped develop by 42 Entertainment. The project started as a concept album that evolved into a world in which listeners could divulge themselves into through a multitude of different outlets, such as the actual CD, websites, concerts, and art. Year Zero tells the story of a dystopian future in which the United States is ruled by a theocratic, oppressive government that controls every function of human life. Corporations are used to drug and disenchant citizens, and paranormal sightings of the apocalypse keep reoccurring. All the transmedia outlets were also incorporated into the story's plot as pieces of information being sent back through time from the Year Zero world in order to warn us. The Year Zero project used specific transmedia principles such as incorporating different facets of media to further expand the story and world. What was first discovered by fans was a website given from clues on concert t-shirts. From that site, others were discovered. In total, there were about 30. They detailed specific events of the Year Zero world. Some were blogs and forums that allowed users to read on information going on in this Year Zero. All of the information was presented as if it was authentic and in a first-person perspective to give a more realistic feeling. Other websites were in third person, but were still presented as real and thought out, as can be seen. Most of the websites were from different perspectives of different characters and organizations of the Year Zero world. Some didn't seem to serve much of a purpose at all until they were interacted with to reveal more information. Though most of the websites were not interactive, a few were set up to reveal hidden clues such as dragging your mouse across and cover another site. Other releases were MP3s on USB drives that had been hidden at concerts. These MP3s contained songs of the album and recorded phone conversations that were supposed to be from the Year Zero world. There were also some teaser trailers released of the paranormal sightings going on in Year Zero. Even a mural was put up under a bridge to give fans who attended a nearby concert more clues. Though the band never publicly called for a grassroots movement to go along with the project, one of the release websites called for listeners to use art as a resistance to everything going on in the Year Zero world. The site provided images that could be used as stencils, stickers, and flyers that could be printed out. Eventually, fans began placing these images on locations around the world, from simple signs to flyers to Starbucks bathrooms to their cars, and even as tattoos. The project eventually culminated in some fans finding directions to travel to a location in Los Angeles from a post in one of the forums that had been created. It was said to be a resistance meeting in which fans would receive kits that included cell phones. These phones were used to keep in contact with these select fans in order to tell them about a secret concert that the band was planning, though they were never actually told what was planned until they arrived. Once there, fans were treated to a short concert that was cut shortly by actors in SWAT costumes to keep with the spirit of the Year Zero world. Though this was more of an extra for fans who kept up with the project than an actual part of the transmedia franchise, it marked the end of the project for at least the moment. The project was started for fans of the band, allowing for few points of entry for those unfamiliar with them other than accidentally finding a website or catching one of the album's music videos on MTV, which also provided details of the world and clues to more. Though there was no chronological order one had to follow in order to understand the Year Zero world, since there was no direct story. The Year Zero franchise was a rather unique transmedia project, as it revolved around a single album and not a television show, movie, or book like most other transmedia. The idea of a concept album wasn't anything new in the music industry, but actually bringing the concept to life in other formats was. Its earliest forebearer had to be Pink Floyd's The Wall, which tried to bring their concept album to life on tour and on film, though that could be seen as simply a musical more than anything. More recently, Radiohead has experimented with parts of transmedia by releasing newspapers and short videos to go along with some of their albums, but nothing as large-scale as the Year Zero, making it a first of its kind. The transmedia project began before the release of the album and lasted for a short while afterward. The band never saw the project as a marketing tool and believed that what they were doing was the actual art form, so it was never started to increase sales, though the album did sell over 187,000 copies in its first week, so it could be regarded as an effective transmedia project commercially. The future of the project is still being worked out, but the band claims that they are in pre-production with HBO to bring their vision of the Year Zero world to a TV miniseries.